as the crowd only fills up even further as we get through the day. Conor O'Leary, number 13 in the world, heading into this contest. Matthew McGillivray in a similar spot on the rankings, number 15 in the world. Here we go. We had a start from McGillivray during the break, Pete.
Straight up hack to start it. Again, these rights, they move away from you. You can see they kind of have a crease in it, so the lip's never really completely pushing back at you.
Very accomplished with a lot of victories, as he'll be against the winner of this heat in the quarterfinals. Ramping section for McGillivray. Lofty alley-oop, and he lays back and still pulls it off.
Wow.
He's been throwing a lot of different airs lately, specifically El Salvador to Rio, and he's really been enjoying how it's been feeling for him above the lip.
Yeah, well, now you'll see he's actually been learning, watching, figuring it out, and look, I mean, this kid's throwing big alley-oops out here. Sick.
Yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. Again, I was touched on earlier in regards to like pulling off airs. You need to kind of grease them in order for the scores to be lifted. That one where he butt checked it to get to his feet. I mean, but truly amazing because it didn't look like he was going to pull it off, and he somehow did. It's
almost like laying back in the whitewash. They kind of they take a little bit away from it because you actually fell into the water and it pushed you back up. So, I get it, but still, it's a make, and he rides out of it, which is really cool.
And looks like now they've centered themselves on the beach to go right.
Nice little chip in for Conor O'Leary. Hard off the bottom, clean backside carve. Ton of speed for the big man. Lights it up vertically. Solid extension of that lip. Hack. And he'll ride in front of the whitewater to show the panel that is complete.
Beautiful, solid base, comes in, sets it up with a nice quick turn, knowing he's got to get to the second turn, and when he places his board so perfectly in the lip, like timing right there, just lights out. Knew he had to race back into the section to get down to the bottom before the wave exploded so that he could ride out of it on his feet.
Things can clinch for himself if Ethan Ewing and Callum Robson go down in the round of 16, then he's guaranteed to be in the final 5. So either one of those, if Ethan's out or if Callum loses in this round, that will make it official for Filipe.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch because he has kept a very cool head.
Well, Matty McGillivray still going for big airs. You could see how that board kind of went flat on the spin, but he was able to hang on to it, Was.
Yeah, just controls coming around. I mean, I feel like he's got to get to back to the basics of McGillivray, though, where he just puts in those power turns. He puts up those vertical slams in the consequential sections that the judges are looking.
18:45 to go. Conor O'Leary from Cronulla in Australia looking at a fun-looking left. Hard off the bottom, there's the vertical. Super foamy, and waves losing a lot of height, but he'll still fit in a juicy frontside carve. Nice vertical again. He's solid in little rip bowls. He found a left in France that he really enjoyed through finals day that took him to a huge victory in the Challenger Series.
In that inside section, this one didn't. And so I identified that. Little stuck there, was able to pull it off, but big carve and then a finish. And see how it was doubled up, so it had extra energy, which is push on your board, which is good for a guy his size. He wants to have that extra push, knowing full well that a second wave is necessary. He was able to do that and more. So I think this would be a good number. It's going to be comparable to the other 5 or 6 that we saw from Matthew McGillivray, and he's going to have the lead.
Impressive performance from the Australian goofy foot to control this first section, which tried to take him out on the ride out of that frontside snap, Strider.
Yeah, well, with all that whitewater on the face, it's hard to actually judge the lip line and exactly where the lip is coming out at you from. But then he found himself, going back to the face and getting underneath the lip line. And then right here, this finish was really clean. Throws the fins out a little bit, gets a little glide in the lip, and then pushes down for the completion.
He wants to come back and surf again, and here we go. He just have a good time. So here we go. Thanks, Miguel.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Muchas gracias. To show up at the championship tour and deliver, he should be very proud of himself. As we see a big wall setting up for McGillivray, connecting well with a big backhand snap, as he's looking for improvement on a 5.07, but ultimately needs a 7.5.
I mean, an example for like at J-Bay, right? The hometown crowd, he'll be one of the crowd favorites, but there's just not the same level of crowd.
Dora, a semi-finalist here in the pass as a wild card, as we've got a little wedge setting up now for McGillivray. Swinging off the bottom. Nice front side slice on the open face. Nice stylish carve into the pocket and jams it on the forehand to put that wave to bed.
Listen to you, Strider.
Well, I mean, it's just basic heat IQ for him. He knew what he had to do to get back in the driver's seat.
Well, watching this replay here, so he has to better the 6.17 to close the gap, obviously needing the 7.5 to turn it. I agree with you. I don't believe that this is going to go quite 7.5, but it could hit better the 6.17. You know, as a comparison, thinking back on it, it's right there. Again, but probably not going to turn the heat, so he's going to have to go back out there and get it done.
Great first turn. You know, clean cutback to set up the inside finish, but it was a little late. wasn't clean. Didn't get any drift. Didn't have a radical end. So that's going to subdue the score just a little bit. But you know, with the conditions on hand right now, this is a really great wave. I mean, that was a beautiful driving turn into the pocket right there. So here we go.
Always does.
Having a look at this one, we've got Connor O'Leary down carve, setting up a nice section to lay into the lip. Love how you can just kind of lean into those finishing turns, drop that back shoulder slightly. It's not the full layback where his body's in the water.
He's connected with his equipment, you know, really setting up great turns. I just feel like he's one of those surfers that I feel like he's a little underrated, and he is a sleeper to win events over and over again.
I'm just enjoying being his team manager. Fantasy surf-wise, of course, Pete. What'd you think?
I think he's going to better a number here. I think he's going to add some points to his two-wave total. Already with a 13.67. Waiting on this number. Feels like it's going to be better than the 6.17. Two beautiful, strong maneuvers with speed.
His numbers from his losses would have beat 80% of the rest of the tour's heats numbers. He was getting, you know, crazy 16, 17, 18-point totals.
Big, clean, connected frontside carve, layback hammer from Connor O'Leary.
He better apologize to that wave.
You know what's crazy, too, is that he is a big kid.
How quick he is on backhand sections, but so much time on these enjoyable carves, Pete.
Yeah, and it just looks like, you know, you talk about the confidence in his equipment. He's just gotten dialed in on the boards that work for him now, which has given him this confidence. I mean, and again, wave choice is there, impeccable. He's got this wave, a little smaller wave, but look at the juice and the cleanliness of the face. And this one feels like another uplifting number to what he has already. Just by, you know, the virtue of that was just vicious.
He just has to give McGillivray his chance, and here it is.
Here comes McGillivray, last effort here with 13 seconds. Wave staying pretty small, but he's still connected as he's pushing down the line. Going for the vertical. He'll jam that end section and go down.
He's been on a fire flame. This guy's been on fire through events.
Great performance from Connor O'Leary.